And hello everyone and welcome today to GSA. We've got a 70-star playoff match for you starting off this morning. I am Electric. Here with me is Scotch and Tie Guy. How are you feeling going into this match between Dwhatever and benjii64?
Feeling pretty good after watching the first playoff match last night between Punkay and Rockchalk. Really amazing play from Punkay, 248. Some of the best play that we've seen all season, really.
Absolutely right. Now, this race, interestingly, almost didn't happen due to Benji thinking that it was about 4 hours later, but fortunately he was able to get in during that 15-minute grace period. So we've got this playoff match for you today. And for those that maybe have not seen one of our playoff matches yet, they work a little bit differently from our league matches. Instead of going for points, they will be going for strict wins. This is one of a potential 3 matches. And we could see either 2 or 3 races today. If one of these players takes both of the first 2, then we'll go ahead and end it right there, and that player will take the match. And, of course, there will be another match for the other player to have the opportunity to win. But if the wins are split in these first 2 races, then we will be moving on to that 3rd race to decide who ends up getting this match. So we could see anywhere from 4 to 9 races in these 3 matches, depending on exactly how the wins end up happening.
Pretty difficult setup. You got to win. Not only do you have to win 3 races in 1 match, but then you got to move on to another match and win 3 races again. And those cumulative points will total up over the series of those matches. So it's all about endurance here with these playoffs and really getting your mindset ready for, okay, I'm going to be playing for a while.
Yep, and it certainly is a bit more of a test than like the standard league play where you're just doing 1 run at a time. And this is a lot more akin to doing a few no resets right in a row.
And we'll see a little bit of a sync here to make sure that we're all lined up together.
Yep, got that nice Lakitu skip, and gonna be a little bit of a time difference between the 2. Benji opting to use a JP cart, gonna be losing a couple of seconds in total over Dwhatever. Kind of interesting. 70 star is the only category that the JP cart is actually slower in. And Solominator, you're asking what the play icon was. That was the restreamer manually resyncing. I know it may seem kind of weird, like, you know, or one of these guys replaying a video or something, but the restreamer has the ability to pause the streams to be able to synchronize their timers to give us the most accurate picture of who's ahead.
Both these guys getting their bomb-oms. Bomb clips very easily here. We'll move on into the slide. If y'all want to plug in your guesses for times into the chat, I'm going to guess a 12-7 and a 12-7 from both.
And well, let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and pull out the actual script so that I can actually give you the right numbers. Benji is scheduled to give us a 12-8 and Dwhatever with a 12-6 actually. So, you know, we'll see if they're able to pull that off or if they're going to have their pay docked. And looks like Benji going to be going for a, what is that, a 12?
It's a 12-5 from Benji and 12-7 from Dwhatever.
Wow. So, real quick, the way the Discord call ends up working, the Discord icons actually cover up that very last number on the right-hand player side. So, if the number is one of those with a curved bottom like a 6 or an 8, it can be a little bit hard to tell which number it ended up being. And what you can actually tell really well, if a player ends up getting past that corner that redirects their momentum right at the end of the slide before the 10-second mark hits, that typically means that they've got a 12-5 in the bag.
We'll see them both going for that cannonless. Neither of them going for that texture setup, interestingly enough.
Yeah, you really, if they're not feeling super confident in it, you can't blame them. And it's one of those things that can sort of vary day by day. If for whatever reason the targeting that you're using mentally just isn't working out right.
Mellow in chat asking, why is JP a little bit slower than the English version in 70 star?
Well, even though Japanese characters can convey more meaning, the way the English script is done in this game, you actually can like in some cases have shorter numbers of text boxes for the English text than on JP. So the very first text box in the game that appears right whenever Mario comes out of the pipe is like a prime example. It's 3 boxes you have to skip through on JP, but only 2 on English, just because they have more text on the English side. I think they, like, in some cases kind of tried to space out the Japanese between multiple text boxes just so that they didn't overload like 2 text boxes with full text.
Don't mean to cut you off, but Dwhatever trying to go for that pro strat, sliding up the side there, though. It's probably going to mess up his timing a little bit. He's going to collect those coins there as a backup.
Pretty well committing to the half cycle here. Going to be working out pretty well for him, though, overall. Nice to see. Very, very good backup. Going to be losing a little bit of time, but that is still okay. And Benji going to go ahead and start off his 100 coin as well. And it does look like Benji is going to be making up a little bit of time by making that standard full cycle. So, all right.
Both these guys making this look pretty easy and straightforward 100 coins from each of them.
Ooh, but Benji not collecting the red. Commentators pre-curse, it kind of seems. So, you know...
Big thing, you gotta collect those red coins while you're collecting the 100 coins as well. And if you miss a single red coin, you gotta go back and get it.
Yeah, and that one on the thwomp can be really, really bad to miss because the angles on the thwomp's head can pretty easily lead to sliding, and that can, of course, just really mess you up trying to back that up. So you really want to, if possible, do that kick in the air and manage to grab the coin during that. But overall, these guys are making it through Whomps relatively unscathed. No Owlless fails, no Cannonless fails, and they're going to be moving on to those last couple of stars, the real easy top of the fortress ones. First off, giving that huge Master Whomp, the big daddy of them all, what for, you know... I'm gonna go ahead and complain about us stomping all over him, but, you know, kind of interesting because we haven't actually stomped on a single thwomp in this run, so kind of curious as to what exactly he's talking about. You know, could be a Groundhog Day situation where somehow the Whomp actually has a memory of all the previous times Mario has stomped on him. Who knows?
Electric pulling out the Game Theories hat yet again.
I mean, you honestly have to. If you spend as much time as comms and everyone else do playing these games, you know, there's a point where you have to start wondering about how surreal everything is.
And both these guys are going to be finishing off Whomp's Fortress with climbing this tower here. Wow, Dwhatever with using that clean strat. Benji coming out a little bit sooner than Dwhatever.
Yeah, but Dwhatever actually making up a slight amount of time with a little bit of an optimization when he was moving to the top of that fortress and doing that jump out of the slide down that like one triangular polygon. He actually took it a bit more risky and went further down, but ultimately paying off for him, saving that little chunk of time. But we've got the slide yet again. Post your guesses, and you know, according to this script again, Benji's slated to actually get a 12-9. Dwhatever with a 12-7.
Someone's up there your script, man. You gotta fix that.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's just Benji not quite following the rules that we've set for him. That's going to be a bit of a pay deduction. You know, he was late to the race. He was not following these slide orders on the script. You know, it certainly kind of spitting in the face of the entire script program, it seems, as these guys go into what some people call the hardest stage in the game, albeit somewhat jokingly. And these guys making it look easy. Nice arcs here. It's so easy to lose a lot of time here just from suboptimal flying, but both these... Oh!
Benji missing 2 of those coins. He's going back again!
Back for it. Okay, he needs to get them on... Oh! This is getting a bit risky here. He needs to be able to move on now. And see, Dwhatever already finishing with that tech skip. That's pretty wild. Toemaster asking what are they playing for. The winner of this will move on to the semifinals and grand finals at pace. So that is what they're playing for. But this is only one match, and there will be 3 separate matches on separate days. The best of 2 deciding who ends up moving on to pace. So Benji ending up pulling off wing cap in the end, though, but that's a pretty costly set of mistakes there. Anytime you have to loop back like that, you lose so much speed, and it's really rough.
Well, it's to note that Benji didn't drop before he got that button. He actually got the button on the fly a little bit, saving just a little bit of time after that mistake.
Yep.
And with the ledge grab there, though.
Oh, and also I meant to answer, but I'll wait until after Dark World. Dwhatever with that really nice look like Zaya cycle. You don't see that too often in a race, so really Swelly is able to pull that off.
He pulled off that elevator really nice.
Yeah, that elevator dive is
work of it.
Wild.
Just making really easy work of Dark World. Benji struggling a little bit.
You're gonna have to settle with a normal cycle. That's okay ultimately. Yeah, that elevator strat, honestly, with the box rollout being a thing, I really don't quite understand why people still do the elevator, because that elevator is just so difficult compared to the box rollout. And if you do that box rollout, it basically gets you to where the elevator would be on the Shig cycle, but like a cycle early.
Taking care of Bowser, Benji will do the same. And now we have a moment. You want to talk about pace real quick? Oh wait, yeah, Benji missing his first throw. Sorry.
Yeah, gonna be able to spin around and not even having to throw Bowser, not even having to do that full spin. I was actually about to say that, you know, this first Bowser fight, you don't really expect a whole lot to go wrong, just because, especially if you wind up 3 times, it does waste about a second or two, but you completely assure the safety of Bowser making it to the bomb, unless you just really mistime A, like Benji did there accidentally. But yeah, Pace is going to be happening from April 25th through the 28th in Laurel, Maryland at Xanadu. If you've ever watched Smash events, there's a pretty decent chance you've seen one of those take place there, so same venue. And that is where we will be holding the semifinals and grand finals for this 70-star league, as well as our Odyssey Any Percent and Celeste Any Percent leagues. And we're also going to have a number of showcase runs, including a Faster Quest Hundo run from ZFG, OOT Any Percent from Torge, Kirby Nightmare and Dreamland run, Owlboy run. There's just all sorts of really cool varied games that are going to be taking place during that marathon. I will be there calming the Celeste Grand Finals, and I hope to see as many of you there in person as possible. If not, go ahead and bookmark those dates still, because we will be streaming the entire thing. So going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to it. As Dwhatever, pulling off those wall kicks will work. They certainly are working for him, and that advanced strat. That can be a little bit of a monk, especially going over that thin rail platform there. Because the strat just does not give you any mercy. The backflip that you have to do some fairly precise finagling with the control stick in order to get Mario to wall kick off the right point there.
Benji missing it.
See, Benji can show us exactly what
and
can go.
Benji missing the start!
Oh boy, okay, this is a pretty costly backup. Now, if he would have gotten it right then, it would have only lost him like 2 seconds over the beginner strat. 4 seconds total, but it's certainly going to be losing him even more because of that fall. That's really unfortunate.
This is all about short-term memory here. I mean, you got to think. There's a potential to play 3 races here today, so you've got to be going into this first race and having made these mistakes here. You got to say, okay, making mistakes. You got to move on. I mean, if you watch baseball, for instance, and see these pitchers, if they start making mistakes, they got to have short-term memory. You got to move on to the next batter and just move on. And Benji's got to be doing the same thing here. He's making a couple mistakes here and there, and it's just kind of compounding on itself.
Yup, and you know, it's certainly kind of unfortunate to see, but obviously there are a lot more stars to go, and some people kind of mentioning it could very well be that Benji was not able to warm up due to him not thinking the race was until later and arriving late to this race. And so, you know, I think this certainly may be a bit of a warm-up game for him, but there are also plenty of stars left, as Mellowflows states, and getting that nice little moonwalk to finish off, and we're going to be actually seeing a route difference here. Benji looks like he's going to be going for CCM 18, whereas Dwhatever committing to 17 by giving that 100 coin the go around on Slip Sliding Away rather than Big Penguin Race. Certainly in a race situation, CCM17, especially if you're going for double plus, can be a bit risky, but it could also kind of save the race, because if you end up missing too many coins on CCM18, you take a brutal minute plus time loss. I think it may even be a minute and a half even. And so we'll see if Benji is able to pull this off cleanly, though, and ensure that shifting Sandland is not going to cause any super major issues, as Dwhatever is kind of in a bit of a predicament, as if he's not able to get that double plus, he'll have to go ahead and settle for HFC early, and then have to decide on a later star to include by skipping that MIPS 50 star.
We actually saw that last night with Rock Chalk having to take that HMC early, as you said, missing double pillarless.
Yeah, and Benji's already missed a coin in the slide, and I don't believe he grabbed the safety red.
He did grab. He did grab the safety red.
So yep, he's totally fine then. Yeah, which is good, because he just missed another on the slide there, kind of getting a weird penguin. Getting 85 before the end, though, that is the perfect number. Getting the star to spawn right on the end here, and you know, it's even when you grab the safety red, you can have a couple of little issues. If you end up accidentally not missing enough coins and have the star spawn just a little bit too far up, you'll end up wasting some time having to do kicks to actually get up that ice. But Benji getting exactly 100, and so totally fine on the CCM 18 route. Meanwhile, Dwhatever making real nice quick work of BBH and going to be moving down to SSL. Now, Dwhatever has the potential to save some time if double plus works out real well for him, but it could also lose him a pretty considerable amount of time, just depending on how exactly these first couple of stars go.
Let's see what strategy he goes with here.
But just before that, we'll
be seeing Nipsey the Rabbit.
Yeah, you think we'll see a punch grab from him?
Well, I'm not sure. We'll see here. And he's going to go with the dive instead.
Yeah, smart move. The punch grab is certainly risky. The dive gives you a lot of wiggle room, as you see there. You can either grab him like right at the beginning of the dive or towards the end of the dive. So certainly, I feel like the smarter strategy during a race, unless you're just really confident in that punch grab.
Well, as I was saying yesterday, you know, you're talking about playoffs here, and we're going to see Dwhatever going for Tama plus. See what strategies these guys go with. You know, are they going to go for the harder strats? Will they, you know, pull out all the stops to make sure that they win, or will they go with something a little bit safer? And Dwhatever showing that, you know, picking and choosing strategies here and there, you know, trying the pro strat there at the beginning of Long's Fortress, and having to kind of adjust that. But then also going for Tama plus. Will he go for double? Yes, he will.
And let's see if he gets the double Tama. He'll save some decent time here if he gets the double. And it's good. Very, very clean. Near picture perfect pluses. So definitely see why Dwhatever went for that. Not concerned whatsoever.
Well, this is some stuff that we're used to seeing with Dwhatever, kind of the same as Punkay. I mean, if we look at Dwhatever's regular season stats, the only loss that he took was to Punkay. He went 10-1. And the reason why he lost that race was because of a death in SSL and TTC. So we'll see we'll want to see him kind of keep those areas clean. And
ooh, Benji rocking that punch grab setup and making it work for him, as Dwhatever finishing out SSL. Got those double pluses out of the way. The rest is pretty well cakewalk for him. And you know, Dwhatever I feel like is kind of slept on, as far as like some people just choosing not to include him in that same tier as like Cheese, Punkay, and he really is an ultra top tier player. There's a reason that he is that fourth player in that 120 star race that we'll be having at Pace. He certainly holds his own, and Benji ended up losing that bomb.
He was going for Tama plus, and he was using that Mario cam, which was kind of interesting to see, but he'll take that top the pyramid back up, losing a little bit of time there.
Yeah, it looked like he was trying to decide for just a second there if he wanted to go ahead and go for Talon as a backup instead.
We'll see him try to go for it again here. Using that Mario cam again, kind of an interesting strategy that you don't see too often.
Ooh, and he's going right through the pyramid. The clip looked good.
And he'll take
go ahead and take that death. Ouch! That is the worst way to fail plus, because you're almost there. And that's really just like a slightly mistimed ground pound, so the ground pound didn't end up taking him into that hole in the top of the pyramid.
Just not taking the right angle there.
So 0 for 2 on plus, unfortunately. Let's see if he's able to get this time around. And the clip is through. Okay, he ends up getting in the hole this time around. Yes, Monka Omega in the chat. Whatever with the slightly slower flying there, opting to go over the fence instead of the fence clip, but he's got the time right now, especially with Benji opting for a couple seconds slower over route, and with Benji making these pretty significant errors.
Dwhatever's on a very good pace right now. Benji taking a ground pound as he goes for Talon.
Yeah, able still to get that Shy Guy though, which is really, really good. You really, really hate to see the long jump miss that Shy Guy entirely.
Dwhatever, you going for the easier strat with Lava Boost.
Yeah, not opting for the no pole grab. You can't blame him, of course. As Benji going to be joining him in LLL, a couple stars short. And Dwhatever going to be going into the bullies as Benji pulling off a nice red coins. Yes, lethal, lethal, lethal. The stage of them all.
Benji taking a little bit of time there to grab that star.
Yep, that one could be a little bit finicky because it looks visually like it's one that you can just grab by walking right into it, but it's just slightly too high for that. And these players should know that.
Yeah, pixels above Mario's cap. And Benji will go into the volcano here.
And so, if you end up running by it like that, it could end up just doing some major damage.
Benji!
Whatever. Oh! Falling off after Lava Boost. That is so unfortunate.
He went for that pro strat too, and so it was interesting to see him miss that. Is he gonna? I think he's gonna opt for the elevator here.
Yeah, he pretty much has to, unless he would have to run basically all the way up the pyramid to collect enough coins to go for Lava Boost again. And so, but missing the rollout at the end of elevator.
Oh no, we're gonna see a death.
Wow, that's Benji just having devastating performance in this very first race. Wonder if we're going to see him opt to have any sort of little bits of practice before the next race here. Let's see how elevator tour goes this time around. That rollout can just be so deadly. If you don't do it just right, you end up falling right through that small gap and you're just done. And so both these players grabbing the star at the same time, but with 4 stars between them, really, really unfortunate to see.
I think we're starting to see, Benji, again, we had that trouble at the beginning of the race, before the race even, of Benji not being present. Like we're saying, probably not having any time to practice. I didn't really see him practicing too much over the past couple of days, and see him going for that easier strat for Lava Boost there. Probably affecting his gameplay.
And he goes for that, kind of interesting movement towards the very rightmost side of that platform there.
Dwhatever moving into the slower part of the run, and DDD going for these chests.
Yeah, not kind of a calm before the storm, before Fire Sea. And normally you don't actually get to see too much of the players, one side with the water and the other side with the fire, but looks like due to the time difference between them, we're probably going to see them stay in this kind of transition for a little bit. When Dwhatever moves into Fire Sea, that should be about when Benji's going to be moving into Triple D.
You said Triple D yesterday, and I thought we were talking about Guy Fieri for a second. I got a little hungry.
See, I've never watched that show, so that's never once occurred to me.
Benji having a little bit of difficulty there with the bullies there, having to kind of clean that back up.
Yeah, if you don't end up getting the lineup just right and getting that ground pound, and sometimes the bullies just straight up don't quite notice you like they should. It can be kind of difficult to get them all off really quickly.
Dwhatever going left here.
Yep, gonna be messing around. Ooh, and
missing the
not
front
even
sub
getting Yeah, not even able to get the first jump out of it. Still, Mario just not getting up onto that sub for whatever reason. Just not liking that submarine sandwich here on Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives.
That bow. Oh, and Benji taking a burn in that bully fight. But that front sub, that bow of the sub, showing a little bit of difficulty there in getting on up there.
Yeah, and he was finally able to make it work, though, without taking a death. That'd be a really, really devastating, horrible death, honestly.
Taking 2 deaths in LLL would be fatal.
And of course, now we've got chat with that little bit of debate over which stage is more difficult, Fire Sea with or without reds. You know, I'd have to say that both of them have their own individual difficulties. With reds, it's all about making that lava boost cycle, but without reds, you have to do that really precise movement for the pole glitch. And there's just some very, very tight spaces. In particular, the slide over on top of the sliding platforms on the end. People have kind of adopted my term of sarcophagusing, when you just fall right below the platforms and take an instant death.
Dwhatever opting to not use that that slightly faster strat that we were seeing yesterday, but I would have to say that
and not getting that long jump out, and that's going to cost him lava boost.
He's gonna get a burn there, and
he's getting bodied by the bully. Cost him early LEs. Mario in the chat potentially cursing Dwhatever. This may be the first time we're seeing a chatter's curse. Yeah, just committing to that late cycle.
And he's gonna have to wait for that red coin, costing him precious seconds that Benji's gonna be able to make up on.
That is really, really unfortunate. And while he's trying to finish this out with, at the very least, a good ending, and Benji going to be going for his own, let's see, rear sub, it looks like. Showing off that interesting camera movement Benji's known for, just giving us a little bit of a show throughout that tunnel. Yeah, and Benji committing to rear sub, no one can blame him whatsoever for that, especially with the consistency.
Interesting camera angles, I haven't seen that before.
Oh, and Benji ending up messing up rear sub. No, he could have actually made up time on Dwhatever's front sub fails, but I think that may end up being about even, if not a bit of a loss.
And he had to eat a bunch of lag there. Dwhatever making easy work of Fire Sea Bowser.
Yeah, and especially you don't want to see a throw missed on Fire Sea Bowser, because when he has to realign that platform, it just takes so long. It is the longest missed throw by far. Even considering the Bowser in the Sky miss throw, too.
Going back to that discussion on Fire Sea, the difficulty between Fire Sea and that other course, I gotta say, Fire Sea, especially, or excuse me, between red coins, Fire Sea, or no red coins, with the 16 star, you gotta do that long jump or that, what is it, the slide on the left side of that second level. That can be quite difficult in comparison to just grabbing the red coins.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's pretty precise. Once you get yourself lined up, you can just hold up and it'll be pretty all right. But getting yourself in that optimal position and getting trained for that in the first place can be pretty difficult. Benji also not opting for that newer box movement, interestingly enough.
And Dwhatever grabbing that, or excuse me, kicking the double box there, not going for the double that we saw last night with Punkhead.
And can Benji get lava boost? It is good. Benji gonna be making up about 15 or more seconds over Dwhatever. This is the sort of stuff that he needs to be able to catch up this first race.
If he can finish up Fire Sea here really cleanly, he can really make up time.
Yeah, well, I feel like he's already made up a significant portion of that lead, honestly. Just with that early lava boost. And that just goes to show how much time that saves over a normal cycle. Even just getting early cycle would have saved a good amount of time. I think about 10 seconds. Because, I mean, you saw how long Dwhatever just had to sit around there and wait. I almost wish that I had voice mod configured to go ahead and start playing elevator music during that section. And Dwhatever with a very nice Wet Dry World 100 coins. RNG treating him pretty nicely as he's able to just skip over that first coin in the line.
Benji losing some time there, taking 2 hits against Bowser, and he'll make that throw.
Yup. At least the hit's nowhere near as costly as the full miss throw, so that's good to see.
definitely making up a couple seconds at least in comparison to Dwhatever's Fire Sea.
Yeah, and really Dwhatever's only lead right now is that Wet Dry World 100 and Dwhatever falling right off the platform.
This is critical here. He's got to make this up, and he'll get it on the second go.
Yeah, you literally just have to completely restart from that wall kick. But fortunately, able to get the triple jump wall kick strat there. That is a pretty precise wall kick off of the side of that cage to end up getting on top of the elevator platform. And you have to do it twice. And so we'll watch to see this next time. The safer way of doing that is to go ahead and start it with a side flip and use that as your single. But I have seen people just line it up using that very slight control stick tilt to basically use what is Mario's equivalent of ESS. And so we see Benji rocking that side flip. Yeah, Dwhatever opting for the safer strat for top of the town.
Benji missing the ground pound on that box.
Unfortunately, the elevator timing is pretty lenient, but every missed ground pound is just a slap in the face with that couple-second loss. Especially when you end up missing a star with a ground pound, that's just really pouring salt in the wound.
It costs about half a second to a second because you gotta wait for Mario to get up from his ground pound. So you don't want to use that. It's probably one of the more costly moves.
Yep, and oh, Benji missing a coin from the skater. Can we get some K-Konas in the chat for the skaters? But trying to back it up with that coin, ending up in like the perfect position for him to back it up, but unfortunately just not able to. And this box RNG just really doing him in.
Taking a punch there.
Yeah, not actually holding A. Just real sloppy on the 100 coins so far. Ooh, and missing the wall kick there. Fortunately, not getting zapped by that amp, able to make this cycle fine. Kind of monking, as you can tell, by pushing in real close to that platform to make sure he avoids that amp.
Just a lot of sloppy movement from Benji.
You know, and I wonder how much of that was just the skater throwing him off. Like, I definitely feel like that's the sort of thing that when it first starts, you're just mentally thinking, really? And it's really easy to just keep that as your thought process and just not be able to focus on anything else.
Well, and that's what I was saying earlier, is you gotta have that short-term memory here. I mean, you just gotta move on. You're in a situation where you gotta win. And if you're losing races, I mean, it's just gonna compound on itself, and you're gonna be walking into a couple days from now down by one whole match.
Yep. As Dwhatever pulls off a nice top of the mountain, tip top of the huge island. I forget that this one is an island, not a mountain, even though there is a mountain on the island. You just call it an island. And Benji with those nice double triples. And going to be getting top of the town, saving a couple of seconds over Dwhatever. And Dwhatever taking that bit of a crouch out of the pipe there. Nice piranha plants though overall. So gonna be making out of THI with a pretty decent time, as Benji gonna be finishing up Wet Dry World with that shocking aerolift star that it is kind of shocking because there's that teleporter just right there, but no aerolifts involved whatsoever. As Dwhatever moves into one of the first huge choke points, PTM, tall torture machine.
I wonder how close to pace Dwhatever is from Punk's pace from last night. He went into THI around 29:30. I know Punk went in there last night just under 29 minutes. And we'll see Dwhatever go for his breezeless, and he'll get it.
Yeah, very, very nice and clean. Flipping right in there. That's what you always love to see. We'll see if Benji can match it in just a bit. Getting that nice mountain clip, but kind of having a little bit of a weird movement bobble there, kind of walking up the slope, it looked like. As Dwhatever going to be moving in for reds. Let's see. I'm sure he's going to go for the faster strat here with those extra dives on these mushrooms. Yep, and it's good. Those
dives can be so costly, but if you make them, you're making up seconds, and it's making it look really good.
Yep, so very nice reds. Benji's going to have a lot to answer there, as Dwhatever going to be moving on to the actual mountain clips. Kind of interesting the route that he takes through TTM, opting to do the mountain clips towards the end. But I believe this may actually reduce some lag, not entirely sure. Ending up getting a bit of an early dive there, so yeah, wasn't exact because of Dwhatever being in TTM. Didn't actually see what happened to Benji there in secrets. But based on his time, it looked like he was pretty okay.
He did all right. I think he had a little bit of a bobble there going for that third secret, but otherwise making easy work of it. As he's taking care of his piranhas now, he's missing the. He'll fall into the water there.
Does he know? He doesn't know about the backup. You can actually get back onto that platform just fine.
Oh, and he'll actually go completely out of the course, and he'll go to the front of the castle. This is a massive time loss.
What? Why did he decide to do that? That doesn't make any sense.
I don't know what's going through Benji's head.
That's definitely slower even than the backup that he was about to try.
That's a definite Monka Giga there.
I don't understand why, and it's not a save and quit. It's he purposely exited the course. There's no reason. Yeah, so the backup for that is you go around like the back of that island and you can end up doing a jump out of the water and get back on. I don't know exactly how it works. I think it might involve a wall kick, but
still having trouble with those piranhas there.
Certainly one of those backups that I'm going to look up and start practicing because it's certainly better than the alternative that we just saw here. That's brutal time loss.
That's
Dwhatever. Like you see Dwhatever not giving him any time.
Well, Dwhatever's just going. I mean, he's kind of in cruise control here, just moving on in Snowman's Land, and Benji finally moving on to TTM. I mean, that cost him, what, 30 seconds?
Probably something like that.
Jeez.
Yeah,
I mean, you've got to be thinking that this is all because of how this race started, with him not getting any practice time, coming in late. He's just not mentally there, and he's going to miss Breezeless.
Yep, going to end up going for that breezed strat instead. Oh, and missing the actual kick into the cage there. That's the second worst way of failing that. There's actually you can get really unlucky and end up kicking right through the seam of that cage and just fall right out of bounds and take a death.
Benji also didn't realize that there were 3 races today also, so I mean, just mentally speaking, I don't think he's there.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see a much better performance in this second race, but it's certainly, if this first race is any indication, it can certainly be odd and not quite in Benji's favor today.
Dwhatever taking care of the ice bully here in Snowman's Land. Well, a very nice pace. Benji will go for that mountain clip, and we'll get it. Moving on over to the log, and Dwhatever will on back downstairs to HMC.
Let's see. Normally this second nips grab doesn't cause people too many problems, but let's see what Dwhatever does with it. Opting for that dive yet again for safety and posterity. Posterity, my bad.
Dwhatever grabbing the toad before HMC, and Benji taking care of Reds in TTM, taking a bonk.
Oh, not able to just get above this wall, kind of making it look like it's a bit of a precise jump, but I think you have a decent amount of wiggle room for that. Just having a Mario meltdown on these Reds. Gonna go ahead and take the backup side flip there, going with the right side movement.
Again, Dwhatever just on cruise control.
Oh, and Dwhatever's actually on good pace against his PB. He's minus 0.7 out of Snowman's Land, it looks like, according to chat.
His PB is 48.13. It seems like he's on pace at least for a 48, low 48, maybe a high 47.
Yeah, high 47 would take some pretty wild gameplay, but it could happen.
If we see a good tippy out of him, it's a possibility, but more than likely, if he has a decent tippy, it'll be a 48.
Yep, and benjii gonna be moving into SL now, nearly. Oh, and taking that ground pound, 2 ground. Just cannot seem to remember exactly how long jumps work. As Dwhatever nearly finished with HMC, nearly a stage ahead. But of course, they do still have to get through Tippy, which we've seen claim so many runs, as benjii sliding right past after getting that strat perfectly fine. Backing this up is pretty brutal, especially from over here. He just
not
can't
able to get it.
He's got it this time. Yeah. Oh man, that star should take at most 6 seconds. And
taking up at least 20 seconds there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brutal time loss that he just cannot take.
Looks like benjii in chat talking about his Z button having some problems, possibly.
Yeah, that's not what you want to see in mid-race here. Oh, it's sliding right down from the snowman's head here. As Dwhatever gets good RNG watching for those rolling rocks, albeit with a few more A presses than some of us are used to, as benjii ends up taking a ball instead of a wall kick off of that small platform. benjii just completely melting down, ironically, in the most solid frozen level of them all, Snowman's Land. This is just, oh, this is hard to watch. Can't even get the wall kicks to get up for the basic beginner strat at this point. And he's finally up here. Please don't fall, please. Okay, he's got the star. He is good. He's making his way away from the snowman's head. The only worst thing would have been if he ended up falling down to that ice bridge and got his hat just blown right off.
I mean, this is all just compounding on itself. You know, he is making one mistake after, and Dwhatever taking a fall in Rainbow Ride.
Yeah, an instant death at least, but a death nonetheless. Starting off Rainbow Ride. Certainly does not feel good to start off Lakitu bounce with something like that.
Probably cost him about 7 seconds there.
But he's going for that glitchy wall kick again, and he makes it work this time. Nice little time save there, and he's right on that pole. No Mario seizing, trying to figure out how exactly that pole grab should work. As Dwhatever with a very, very nice second try at cruiser crossing. You know, honestly, Dwhatever's still saving time over the beginner strat despite that instant death. Ooh, but benjii ending up taking a bonk instead of getting right over that platform. Just every star seeming to cause him so much trouble.
I mean, I don't know what's going on with benjii here. And
ooh, but
Dwhatever taking another death!
Wow!
What is going on here?
To Rainbow Ride just cannot get these wall kicks to actually start off.
I'm not sure what to make of this right now. benjii's making all these mistakes. Dwhatever taking 2 deaths in Rainbow Ride already. And then you've got TTC, which is arguably even harder than Rainbow Ride.
Yup, and Dwhatever missing that first red, having, you know, showing a couple of cracks in his own armor here. Let's see if benjii is able to pull it back together, because one thing that's really, really nice about the HMC late route is that it kind of gives you a little bit of a reprieve. There are some kind of difficult strats involved in HMC, but it's certainly not as difficult as TTM for benjii SL, it seems. And, you know, it certainly is the opportunity that benjii could use to take a breather and really reset his mentality. As Dwhatever missing the ledge grab there for tricky triangles, attempting to back it up, but just not able to get it. So he's going to have to go for swinging in the breeze with the flame shooter strat here. Let's see if he can make it work. Getting a weird angle, does not like that. Gonna have to go from the other side here. And he's making it work, it looks like.
benjii having the difficulty in HMC, almost taking a death there at the beginning. But Dwhatever keeping it calm, making sure not to take another death. And benjii opting not to do a side flip. Is that a different strat? Is that a new strat?
I'm not entirely sure. Which side flip exactly were you talking about?
The side flip for the triple jump, triple box jump.
Oh, yeah, I think it just must be a bit of an optimization on his part, which is kind of an interesting one to see because the side flip, in part, it's so reliable because I don't think that Mario can actually grab the top of the cage from it. And in fact, like the top of the cage kind of compresses Mario down to make that jump work. So Dwhatever moving into TTC before Benji even has a shot at... Oh, Benji just cannot get this wall kick to start off Christmas Miracle. Just not taking the right angle whatsoever for it. Wow.
And he'll have to take a... Oh, and he'll miss the switch!
Oh, and Parrot confirming that the side flip is actually faster, so Benji making that harder on himself and losing time because of it. Very odd choice there. As Dwhatever making TTC 100 looked like child's play. Let's see, though. This is kind of one of the major choke points between 60 and 90 coins.
Benji had to bounce off that cage and do a ground pound to get the switch, and Dwhatever missing that one coin.
Yeah, the RNG just not working out in his favor.
Both these guys are... I don't know what's happening to both these guys.
Oh, Dwhatever taking that mild invis wall. It's not too bad. Backing up real clean with the triple jump dive. And yeah, Para, seeming to claim that Benji must be using a GameCube controller with some of these interesting strats we're seeing. But Dwhatever ultimately making out of TTC 100 pretty unscathed overall, not losing any more than like maybe 10 seconds.
I mean, that one invis wall could have easily been a death, but he made sure to save it so that, not losing any more time than necessary.
And chat actually pointing out, I've forgotten about this. Benji, one of the very few players that does actually use a GameCube controller for this game.
Paracusia calling you out there, man.
Oh yeah, GameCube controllers are perfectly allowed. They don't give any sort. And in fact, if he's using it on original hardware, I believe the RAFnet adapter could add a slight bit of delay. I'm not totally sure on that. It's not as significant as like trying to play on the worst LCD possible, but I think that it could add a slight amount of delay. Sorry about that, Para. I actually didn't know that Benji was using a GameCube controller. That's kind of wild. The GameCube controller's angles are just a bit weird, in particular the diagonals. If you look at the front of the controller, the GameCube controller has an octagon-shaped gate, whereas the N64 controller, the diagonals are more exaggerated, so it's more square. But Benji's taking a death right there.
Benji took a death there.
Wow.
It was interesting. It looked like he was going to go turkey triangles there, going to the left side, and then he all of a sudden at the last second went to the right, as if like he realized he was making a mistake and wanted to go.
Well, that right side can be a bit safer going for tricky triangles, and I think whenever you're doing the setup for swinging in the breeze, you actually like swing left and then like move to the right.
Benji seeming not to have an answer to SM64.
Yeah, I'm certainly hopeful that this is a warm-up race for Benji, being that he's 10 stars behind right now. Certainly do not want to see this performance again in the second race. And, could very well be a bit of a controller issue plaguing him, so, may need to give him just a minute to see if he can get that taken care of. Oh yeah, the other part of the GameCube controller being weird is you can use both A and B for rollouts, and since any frame beyond the first frame of a rollout loses time, Benji getting Lakitu bounce and falling from that jump at the end. What a mess of a rainbow ride already.
He's gonna have to back up with reds.
HFC working out really well for him, but ultimately, and missing that slide coin. Every other stage in this late game just is holding nothing back from him, it seems. But what you want to do for rollouts is roll your thumb over A and B to try to get that frame perfect rollout. And on GameCube, because the A and B buttons are offset the way that they are, it's more difficult to do that rollout. And of course, because you have to use the C stick instead of C buttons, that can add some difficulty to the camera movement that is actually pretty vital to this game, as Dwhatever collects that 70th star from Toad and is going to be moving into bits before Benji has even gotten out of Rainbow Rides. Such an unfortunate result in this first race.
Looks like Dwhatever, if he does this Dark World well, can get a high 48 possibly, but for sure definitely a 49.
Yeah, he's certainly on sub 50 pace, which is really, really good for a race time. Albeit kind of expected at this level, especially with like the gameplay that Punk.
Benji taking a death in Rainbow Ride yet again. I mean,
he just cannot get. He's getting the Lakitu bounce, which is arguably the harder part of that, and he just cannot get his way up to the ship in the sky.
Dwhatever opting for that left side.
Yeah, going ahead and having to deal with stationary left side instead of
Benji. What's Benji doing? Taking another death. Just no answer for that Lakitu glitch there.
Oh, and not even able to get the wall kick this time. Just too late of an A press there.
I need some not like this in chat.
Yeah, we need to see some hands, GSA hands, SM64 hands, just any sort of hands you can pull out. Pepe hands.
Dwhatever. Gonna make easy work of Bowser getting all 3 throws, getting a sub 49 here maybe.
Let's see. It's gonna be real close.
It's gonna be tight.
I think he might have a 59 on his hands. No, it'll be a very low 49.
There you go.
49.01. GG's in the chat to Dwhatever. And just unfortunate Benji could not clinch this here.
We'll see a little bit of Benji asking for a little bit of a break here. Probably necessary considering the play that we saw here.
Yeah,
so we'll see. We'll have a little bit of time here between races. But man, so what did you think of that first race?
Well, Dwhatever is certainly pulling out a nice, solid, consistent performance. Remember that fire seam mistake easily cost him the 48, making over 15 seconds of time save alone right there. And so thinking about that, there's a lot of stuff that Benji's going to have to make up for in this next round, because I'm not expecting Dwhatever to play significantly worse than he just played here. Now, Benji, I think going into this next race, Benji just really needs to try to forget everything possible about that last race. He said he was going to go grab a quick drink and, maybe mess around with his controller a little bit, saying that the issue that he's having is like Z is kind of triggering randomly. So, we'll just have to see if he's able to kind of get that squared away, and especially if he's just able to get his mentality in the right spot.
Well, 3 words that I said earlier, it's short-term memory. I mean, this last race for Benji was just absolutely brutal. I mean, 5, 6, maybe 7 deaths total. I lost count after Lethal Lava Land, but you can't go into this next race thinking, or foreboding on this past one, on this race. You got to move over into the next race and say, okay, I've got to go and make this a 3-race match. I can't let this last race affect me. I've got to go into this next race and say, okay, I got to take it.
Mario.
Yep, absolutely right. The huge short-term memory factor.
Yeah,
Benji readying back up. Looks like he isn't wanting any sort of break to work on the controller or anything like that.
Duckato saying, no warm-up, broken controller, probably stressed out. Yeah, I mean, that's all the factors that'll really affect the mindset of a racer as he's, going through this, especially with something such as SM64 and just the movement that you need to do and how precise you need to be. And we'll see them get started with their second race right now.
Yep. Chat asking what's wrong with the controller. A couple of cheeky responses, but it seems the L trigger, which is used in this game for Z, is just giving him a little bit of trouble. As these guys starting out that cutscene.
We'll see them sync back up here.
And we've got the timer synced. Just Benji seems to be something going on with the Benji stream, it seems.
Yeah.
Maybe having a stream drop.
See his timer going.
Yeah, that's really strange. I don't understand how that's happening.
Oh, and his timer stopped. We're probably gonna see a restart here.
Yeah, weird technical issue. Benji, not responding just yet in chat. I'm not sure what's going on. You know what? This timer's still going like that. Maybe it was a cartridge tilt or something?
Oh, there we go. So...
Well, no, that's... I think this is just Dwhatever's gameplay.
Oh,
mirror.
it is. Right.
Yeah, a little bit too consistent for both of them to be together here. As we've got that real nice, blurred, HD res view of the SSL pyramid. Yeah, Dwhatever just gonna go ahead and practice the intro of the run, it seems. You know, as long as we've got him going with this race, let's go ahead and have a couple of guesses with the slide. You know, not sure if we're gonna need a new copy of the script, but it appears here Dwhatever is slated for, oh, a 12.5. Wow. Let's see if you can make this.
Dwhatever, a little bit of camera.
Yeah, that's actually the cheap prevention. So, just to make absolutely certain that these guys aren't showing off a task or something.
Dwhatever going a little bit wide there from the wall.
Yeah, it's going to cost him the 12.5 with
We'll get a 12.7.
Yes, Duckota. It's pretty uncommon. The reasons that you would use a GameCube controller, the Hori mini pad is actually a better controller for. The consistency of the GameCube stick is still there with the Hori controller. It's not going to wear out on you. And in fact, the Hori controller does have N64 style notches, so it's easier to hit certain diagonals that would be harder to hit on a GameCube controller. And the Hori stick does have a higher center, or the height of the stick itself is a bit higher, which is more akin to an N64 stick, even though it's the same style of stick as a GameCube, since it has that potentiometer inside of it. It seems to be constructed in a way to sort of emulate the N64 stick. And it does have actual C buttons, does have double Z triggers, which is kind of nice. And just generally is everything that you would be wanting out of a controller for SM64 with a potentiometer stick.
So we've got Benji back in here.
Yeah, his stream is back up, so he did continue playing. Okay, that's great to see.
Looks like his laptop went down for no reason, but he was continuing to play. So we'll probably see a here in a bit, because he said that he did not mess with the timer at all. So technically speaking, when we're looking at Benji, he's actually a little bit behind Dwhatever. Looks like we might have a restart though, just so that we can kind of re-officiate and make everything, you know, official.
Yeah, and I think it only makes sense because... Oh, no, he's not playing on a laptop. He's saying that his laptop died, and so the stream, as a result, also died. But everyone in the league is required to be playing on N64, so... And I'm certainly hoping that Dwhatever is fine with restarting, because this is not looking like a good opening for Benji at all.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to get a restart here.
And, you know, hey, Dwhatever getting that opportunity to follow the script this time on the slide, so, you know... Gotta look at the silver linings, ultimately. No problem, Sammy. Everyone only learns through asking.
Not sure when we're gonna see. Oh, here we go. Now we'll see the restart.
It's me, Mario.
Yeah, gonna go ahead and just verify it real fast that they don't actually have any save files still. Yep.
Benji was still playing, not realizing that we're gonna have a restart.
They're just giving us that quick little. Oh.
We'll see a restart now. Here we go. Just for this restart, if you want to go, let's go ahead and talk about pace a little bit in case some viewers didn't get to hear about it last race.
Yeah, so PACE is going to be taking place on the 25th of this month, April, through the 28th in Laurel, Maryland at Xanadu. It's going to be really awesome. That's where we're going to be having our final 3 grand finals for our 70-star league, the Odyssey Any Percent League, and the Celeste Any Percent League. So that's going to be really, really exciting to see live. We're going to have great comms for all of them. I will actually be calming the grand finals of Celeste there. So we also will be having a number of showcase runs, including, as I mentioned last race, we're going to be having a faster Quest OOT run from ZFG, as well as a Any Percent run from Torge, the current world record holder, who just improved the record on Sunday by 3 seconds. And probably, at least for me, one of the huge highlights of the event is going to be that 120-star race between Punkation, Cheese, Dwhatever, and the only Siglemic. So that's going to be a huge race. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what Sig has for his big return to SM64. I said this in yesterday's race, but it's worth saying again. I'm sure a lot of people were probably thinking that, like, we went and contacted Siglemic to get him for this race. That's not how this worked out. He actually is the one that contacted GSA wanting to submit a 120-star race for PACE. So, you know, I certainly feel like he's been working and definitely has something up his sleeve if he's going to be offering something like that. So I'm really, really hyped to see that.
It really should be exciting. So if y'all are interested in going, make sure to get some tickets. You can find out more information if you type !PACE in chat. And here we go. We'll go again. It gets restarted and Bomb on Battlefield. Both of them going for that bomb on flip.
Rock Chalk asking what race 1 times were. Benji did not finish because he was a significant amount behind. Dwhatever finishing with a 49.01. Also, can we get some shout outs to Rock Chalk? Some sort of high emotes. Great performance on that race last night versus Punkay. Just Punkay with the insane consistency.
Also, Rock Chalk getting that PB in 120-star the other day. Very, very nice to see.
Yeah, speaking of Siglemic, Rock Chalk accomplishing his goal of beating Siglemic's 143. So huge congrats to Rock Chalk for that huge personal achievement.
I got to see that myself. It was really impressive to watch.
Yeah, 120 star is just such an awesome category. I certainly, once I end up getting done learning 70 and get more comfortable with the game, I definitely want to put time into it. Because there's just so much of the game that you don't get to see.
Benji with a 12.7 and Dwhatever with a 12.9, just slightly slower. And Dwhatever going for the box instead of just going for that star right there.
Yeah, well, he ended up missing the star initially. The rollout didn't quite work out the way that he wanted it to, so I just went ahead and opted to go to the box instead, which I think that's probably the smart move, honestly.
We'll see them both going to Womp's Fortress, the faster part of the run, if you might arguably say.
Yeah, I mean, just a really, really rapid fire stage for sure. It's only one of 2 stages that you do every single star in 70 star. The other one, of course, being the tall torture chamber.
Benji having a little bit difficulty with that texture setup, and Dwhatever going for that beginner setup, would you say?
Not necessarily beginner, because you see players of all levels using it just for the consistency. Most people call it the full setup. I personally refer to it as the sock folder setup. The guy that first made the setup, his name is Sock Folder, so.
There you go.
And I like to give those little shout outs. I feel like strats should... It's nice to name strats after the people that made them, unless they decide to name it something else.
Wait,
it's actually not the sock folder? I thought it was. That's okay. That's my bad. I'm guessing the sock folder had a couple of extra moves or something in it. I actually had no idea. Hera with the big knowledge drops.
Both these guys easily get an Owless, and Benji going on, and both of them going for 100 points here. Dwhatever looks like he's going for that pro strat.
Yeah, let's see if it works out this time around. Yeah, Hera, if you could link it, that'd be great, because I actually had no idea.
Dwhatever having a little bit of problem jumping up to that second tier. Taking that back up like he did last time. Benji having difficulty grabbing that last red coin, having to come double back for it.
So pretty nice 100 coins overall for both of these guys. Just a couple of minor mistakes, but Benji still with a lead, which is a nice way to start this race out, especially compared to that last one. Although I think at least a bit of that lead is definitely due to the 100 coin difference. Or sorry, not 100 coin difference, the version difference, my bad.
Dwhatever missing that first ground pound only cost him maybe half a second to a second. Both these guys going for shooting to the wild blue and easily taking care of that.
Yeah, shooting to the wild blue, as much as you practice it to be able to use this as a backup, and as much as like in races you sometimes have to use it as a backup, it's certainly one that you really don't expect people to have issues with.
Seeing about 2-3 seconds, maybe a little bit more difference between the two guys.
Something like that, yeah. Not super substantial, which is definitely what you want to see coming out of Womps, given that Dark World is pretty soon to come.
Both these guys will go in and finish up Womps Fortress with climbing up that tower. Benji taking some pauses there, missing the platform, just struggling with climbing up there and trying to take it the back up the quickest way possible, and he'll get it on the third try. And Dwhatever taking the lead.
Yep. So kind of an unfortunate time loss for Benji, but still pretty close.
And we'll see Dwhatever jump in around 7-11 in. And Benji about 8 seconds behind going into this second slide. Dwhatever with a 12-7, Benji with a 12-6. Benji being just slightly more optimal than Dwhatever as we move into wing cap reds. Dwhatever missing that last red there, having to turn around and back it up.
Yeah, so Benji able to make up some decent room for that. And Dwhatever going again for the ground-based tech skip. Let's see how Benji ends up going. And Benji going for the ground-based as well. Definitely a bit safer.
So Benji will make up maybe a second there, so we'll see just what the difference is here as we go into Dark World to take care of the first Bowser.
Yeah, when we saw Dwhatever pulling off a nice Zaya cycle in that first race, let's see if he can do the same thing again here.
Looks like Benji having trouble with that Z button still. About 8 seconds worth of difference still.
And so D pretty well committing to that elevator movement again. Oh, but ending up not getting that dive just right, so gonna have to go ahead and take the...
and Benji taking a death!
Ooh, at least it was pretty early on overall, but still an unfortunate thing. You never want to take any deaths in Dark World.
Dwhatever eating an amp there. That elevator movement is so critical. You know, if you can get it, I mean, it's it's very optimal, but it's so easy to miss it. Benji showing off how to do that elevator skip correctly. Interesting camera angle there from Benji, and Benji also eating an amp. And Benji taking a second death here in Dark World.
And so late in the cycle too. That is really unfortunate.
It's just, again, it's just compounding on itself.
Yeah, I mean, he was holding real close to Dwhatever for a while, but at this point, he's really letting Dwhatever run away with that lead.
Dwhatever heading back in to bomb on battlefield. Interesting that we haven't seen Island Hop from either from yesterday or today, and Benji's still having some trouble finishing it up.
At this level, especially when you have these guys, like I forget exactly how these guys were seeded going into this race, but the only one that would really have a reason to go for Island Hop would really be Benji in this case, which, I mean, if you fail it, you're just giving yourself such a huge deficit right at the start. So, and it only saves 4 seconds if done completely optimally, so it's not the most worth it time save in the world.
Benji having to grab Bowser for a second throw, costing him a couple seconds.
And let's see how Dwhatever handles these wall kicks this time around.
Taking short work of it.
Yeah, really nice movement through there.
Dwhatever with such a solid lead. Only in the lobby.
Go.
So Dwhatever, if he wins this race, he'll take this match, and they'll move in. When's the next day that they play?
I'll have to go ahead and check the calendar real quick for that. It's actually tomorrow at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time.
We've got a couple of SM64 playoff races tomorrow, don't we?
Yep, we've also got the next matchup between Punkay and Rockshock at 10 p.m. EST, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. So that'll be a pretty exciting one to catch as well. Certainly looking forward to both of those.
Punkay especially, having those 248s, you know, he'll want to kind of capitalize on that and keep moving forward and clean up and take the second match.
Yep, and Dwhatever making really nice quick work of that CCM 100. I think, did he end up getting 99 coins in both races? I think he did.
Yeah, and he had a really nice, he did a nice little wall kick at the end of that as well, opting out of the moonwalk.
And we'll see him go ahead and take that little penguin down this miniature roller coaster here. Both of them doing this about simultaneously, just Benji doing it as his 15th star, Dwhatever doing it as his 17th, closing out CCM.
2-star difference, and Benji will still have to do his 100 coins.
Yeah, I'm thinking Benji would probably opt for CCM 18 again, but I could also see him possibly going for double plus. Would be pretty insane, but I could see it.
Benji missing that first red coin.
Yeah, he'll have to grab.
He'll have to back it up. Yeah.
Unless he decides to grab the safety room. I'm not sure which one would be the least time loss, actually. And he's opting to go ahead and grab it on the return here. Or not.
What is he doing?
Okay, it's fine because he's doing CCM 17 then. Okay. So he is going to back it up just later on in the course. It's smart of him to know that. Yeah, if it were CCM 18, that would have been a devastating mistake. But because it's CCM 17 and the star spawns outside, then he will be able to grab a different red. So if he wasn't thinking of doing 17 before, that's a really, really interesting decision to back that up, because it wouldn't have lost him that much time to go ahead and grab that red on the return, I don't think. Or at the very least, like if he would have grabbed the safety red as a essential red, it would have been fine.
Well, it looks like he got 99 regardless, so trying to stay optimal and not have to worry about the backup, but missing that red on top of that tree twice, having to climb up the tree and then grab the star. Whatever, making his way into Big Boo's haunt and just making easy work of it. And Benji missing the star, taking a death in Cool Mountain.
Wow. I don't even know what to say. Oh man.
This is just, I mean, it's lethal. I mean, he's just making one mistake after the other. There's nothing he can do to answer to it. And taking a bonk! Trying to stay optimal on that slide, but not able to make it. Getting a lot of not like this in chat.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly warranted. And Benji ending up failing it again. Jeez! What is going on right now with Benji? This is just insane. At least he gets the moonwalk this time, gets a decently optimal ending, but man.
Moving over to Whatever, he messing up on that plus. I don't know if he was trying to go for Tama, but he backed it up with going for a top of the pyramid. We'll see if he goes for Tama plus here again. And we will see him go for Tama.
Okay,
and this time he'll get it. Yeah, this time he'll get it. And we'll see Whatever go for double pillarless here. Get not Tama again. A little bit more optimal there than the first go. Whatever's secret's looking really, really nice in SSL.
Yeah, committing fully to that double plus. I mean, kind of what you expect, but still.
Whatever just seems to be in cruise control yet again, especially with this lead here.
Yash Brown, Tama there is a strat known as Tama Plus, named after Tama 42. It saves, I believe, like 4 seconds per plus. It takes away a lot of the wiggle room that you have in plus to correct for things, but it is obviously a decent amount faster. The difference is if you see someone, whenever they go over that sandhill, they do the dive to re-grab the bomb and like do it in such a way that the sandhill keeps them on the other side. That's the Tama plus. It's a little bit hard to describe, but if they're not doing Tama, what you'll see is after they do the bomb grab, they'll slide up the sand dune, and then as they start coming back down, they'll do the throw and the re-grab on the front side of the sand dune.
Whatever, making short work of Lethal Lava Land red coins. And Benji will go ahead and move into SS. He decides to go for Tama Plus.
And let's see here. Interesting Mario Cam angle yet again. Let's see. Oh, he's pretty sideways. Is he able to clip through? Making it barely work. Wow. And he was so close to actually colliding with Talon. I'm pretty sure that would have caused the Talon star to spawn. I don't know what that would have done to the bomb. That was a Monka.
That was a very good backup by Benji there.
And yeah, sorry, it's Tama 82, not Tama 42. My bad. I knew it was numbers, and I got the name right at least. Okay, Dwhatever going for that easier lava boost setup, making it work, making it look easy. Making some pretty quick work overall in Lethal Lava Land. Ooh, and Benji missing that regrab, almost a Tama.
He will also use having a little bit of difficulty with the top of the pyramid there, but using that as his backup. I didn't get to see how did Dwhatever do with that lava boost. Benji going for that Tama Plus again, using that Mario cam. Having a little bit of difficulty moving into that pyramid.
Yeah, but ultimately, okay, so relatively minimal damage. I mean, we have seen people ending up having to just completely keep retrying the bomb grab and like respawn the bomb over and over. So, I mean, at least he made it through without having to deal with that, but still a pretty decent time loss, especially compared to the way Dwhatever performed. And very, very nice triple bully kill from Dwhatever. I think he had to do a little bit of a backup for that middle one, but making it work super, super nicely. And yeah, thank you, Jadalus. Jada Dallas, not exactly sure how to pronounce that name, but thank you for watching, because these events are really only possible with viewers like you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. This is my second race I'm commentating.
Yeah, shout out to Scotch and Tie Guy. He's still pretty new in the booth. This is only his second time, and I think he's doing an amazing job. So can we get some sort of congratulatory emote for Scotch and Tie Guy for doing a pretty great job?
Thank you. Appreciate that. It means a lot.
And so let's see. Dwhatever.
Benji having a little bit of difficulty moving into the volcano, but we'll get it back, and he'll go with his elevator, almost dying there.
As long as he makes this fireball cycle, he's good. Okay, remember last time he messed up this rollout, and it's good this time. Whew. Definitely need to take a breathe in and breathe out on that one.
And Dwhatever will move into Triple D.
Yep, things kind of slowing down a little bit in the run. Is Benji going to be finishing up
Electric?
Relatively soon.
Electric, I would love to hear some David Attenborough.
Well, alrighty then. The Mario, as we can see here, is one of the water's probably most advanced swimmers overall. Somehow, despite this very, very odd technique of effectively fluttering the feet in a sideways direction, the Mario manages to maintain a pretty significant momentum through its swimming motions. Certainly a admirable performance. As real quick, Benji gonna be going for that pro lava boost and getting it real nicely, and the grab
clip.
Wow! Oh man!
So we saw Benji. Benji in the first race did use that that pro strat for the lava boost, but he ended up going for the grab instead of the clip. But impressive clip there, especially in lieu of the fact that he having a hard time here during this race.
Yeah, and he certainly needs those few seconds as Dwhatever now moving towards the Mario's second smallest natural predator.
Looks
See,
like
even though the front of the submarine is a very significant predator, the back is its most sensitive area ultimately. It's very, very easy to just get right in for the Mario to conquer his prey. And as we can see, he will not be going hungry tonight.
Yeah, Dwhatever going for the back of the sub instead of the bow. Taking an easier route, I guess. Not taking too many risks considering his lead.
Yeah, and especially like with those front sub issues earlier, I really don't blame him for not wanting to deal with it. And especially as I was kind of discussing yesterday, with how much lag that sub incurs, it's very, very easy for it to just totally drop those jump inputs. For a while, it didn't make sense to me because the way that controllers work is kind of interesting. In computer science, there's a concept known as an interrupt, which I'll explain in just a little bit because we're dealing with Dwhatever in Fire C right now. But basically, that concept makes it technically impossible for the game for the console to not accept your input. But the game itself is still able to disregard the input through some kind of interesting ways. As Dwhatever making this box movement real nice so far.
See
But
if he
remember,
goes.
in that first race, the lava boost was messed up by this long jump right here, which he makes with ease. And fully not causing any issues, so that's a free lava boost for Dwhatever. That is a time save benjii will not be able to take any advantage of this time around.
Very nice optimal movement here from Dwhatever. Just impressive play, making up for what he couldn't do the last race, showing it off, saying, you know what, I can do this, so I'm gonna make it. And benjii making his way into Dire Ducks.
Yep, and you know, I kind of wonder what kind of pace Dwhatever is on, because I don't think he's made any really significant errors so far.
No, he hasn't. I mean, he just on cruise control, like at the end of the last race, just kind of making his way through and not making too many mistakes here and there. Definitely not like the most optimal choices as far as strats goes, as we saw with the sub, but just making easy work of everything. Really just going ham.
Yep. And so now that Dwhatever's going ahead and grabbing that second key and benjii finishing up his chest, so the way that like a keyboard works on a computer, for instance, at least on like older systems, is when you press a key, it actually triggers an instant response in the processor. The processor kind of stops whatever code that it's doing, saves its spot, and then goes ahead and sees, okay, what key did you press and what do I need to do with that key press? And the same thing applies on a game console. When you press the button, it interrupts the processor, and the processor has to deal with, okay, what button did you just press? And so when you're watching Triple D with an input display, even when front sub doesn't work, you will still see the A input going through. But what happens is, if you've ever seen any of Pan and Koic's videos where he talks about half A presses and the fact that the game will register going from unpressed to pressed as a jump. Ooh, Dwhatever missing that very first coin in 100 coin. Will that coin move to a position where he'll be able to grab it on the way back? And
No,
it's
won't.
totally out of the way, so he's already got his extra gone. That's not the way you want to start off this 100 coin, especially with the Chucky RNG. Could end up just really messing him up. And he ends up having to just take whatever RNG this box gives him, which is just, oh, that one coin going way off to the side.
RNG just not being nice to him, and benjii opting with the back sub instead of the bow.
Yeah, I'm not sure if, I don't think I've seen benjii go for front sub really recently, which certainly don't blame him for it. It only saves a couple of seconds if you do it right. And if you end up missing it once, the lag that you eat just makes it completely not worthwhile. But
Oh, benjii having difficulty here with the Manta.
is he able? Oh, he's gonna have to restart
to
those
turn
rings.
back around and restart the whole thing.
Those ring hitboxes are pretty brutal, and you can kind of tell the system just generally in lava levels, it lags pretty bad, and so
especially if you miss it on the first go, you really have to slow down and restart it, and it just makes the whole thing even slower. So almost doubling your time.
Yeah, Dwhatever getting good RNG on the end of that 100 coin though, so he was able to finish it out without having to use any sort of backups. That's really
benjii almost getting sucked into the vortex there, narrowly missing it as he goes for the star.
Yeah, so he's finally able to make his way out of Triple D, but that is a really, really unfortunate time loss there.
And now we'll see benjii go into Fire Sea and Dwhatever doing that optimal movement there.
Yep, and so, you know, let's see if he's able to pull off a lava boost again. He pretty well needs to. Oh, and re-grabbing the pole. That is a dead lava boost. Is early Ellie's? Early Ellie's is dead too, almost definitely. He's wasted so much time just in this box alone. No, man, that is so bad. Jeez.
Just not optimal movement, and not being as precise as he needs to be, and not being able to get those bounces. And the elevator goes up, so he can't even. He has to wait.
So more than likely, oh man, is he going to be able to make the late early cycle? I really hope he is. Okay, the platforms are still on the rise, so he's going to be able to make it, but... oh, it's diving right off! No, he won't!
No!
He's going to have to wait a second elevator cycle! That is like 35, 40 seconds of time loss and not more! Oh, man!
It's just, we're just seeing benjii fall apart here at the seams. It's just... I can't describe what I'm watching.
Dwhatever having to take a normal cycle, and Benji running away with a lava boost. Meanwhile, this time around, Dwhatever getting the lava boost, Benji having to accept a late cycle.
And he misses the red coin as he goes up the pole, and he has to go back down and grab it.
Just this isn't even a Mario meltdown at this point. This is a Mario straight to the boiling point.
This is an absolute
vaporization.
This is an absolute travesty to watch.
He almost took a death right there. The platform barely let. Oh! Just get up there! Just get up there!
What?
Please! Please! Okay, he's finally there. He's finally got the star. Oh man! At the
Electric.
Very least,
Electric, a commentator, absolutely making the dogs go crazy as he falls back down.
What is this? What? Just okay. He's in the tube. Please, just get this throw. Get out of Fire Seat. Just move on. He is nearly 2 stages behind Dwhatever. A nearly insurmountable lead already to start off this game too. This is just ludicrous. Fire Seat just completely bopping Benji. Just absolutely clapping his cheeks. There aren't enough idioms and missing that throw.
Missing the Bowser throw.
Again,
what is happening?
Able to get the distance. Just do a full spin.
Oh,
okay. He does manage to get it that time, not pushing Bowser off the edge at least. Man.
Benji just absolutely falling apart in Fire Sea. The Lego castle just absolutely crumbling.
I mean, not even Lego castle. It was a house of. It was a professionally built. Not even like I don't even know. I'm just at a loss for words at this point. I think Bevan Lucas said it best. Whatever completed to the top of the island while Benji was just trying to get up to the star there. That was it.
And what did Benji just do? What is happening?
Oh.
This cannot. This race cannot be going worse for Benji. I mean. He's just making every single mistake possible, and there's nothing he can do. There's nothing he can do to make it up, and he's doing a ground pound and taking a bonk as he goes up the stairs.
Now, granted, it's worth saying that what he would have done if he hadn't saved and quit would have been re-entering the stage and doing an exit course. So that's probably like the least time lost save and quit that you can do. But it's certainly still a time loss that you just don't want to see after that Fire Seat. And of course,
missing the triple jump
for that wall kick.
Man, what? Okay, he's taking a faster strat there. I thought that he was gonna fall off and miss the box.
Oh, he's missing that wall kick, so he's gonna have to. Okay, he's still able. Oh, is he gonna be able to get back up? Please. He's done. Yeah, he's gonna have to
go back up.
The elevator. Wow. I don't know even if he would have instantly restarted that if that would have worked out. Just absolute Pepe hands at the moment. I don't even know what's happening on Dwhatever's side. He's about to go through some really wild reds. Still going for that ultra fast movement, but he could probably play at a casual play. He could probably hand the controller to someone else and still be fine. That is how substantial this Mario meltdown has been for Benji. Just completely devastating. So unfortunate. And just
he's getting caught underneath that second wood piece.
Go ahead and take the elevator at this point. Just every star taking like twice as long, if not even longer than it should.
And Chad talking about these reds and very spicy, and they were quite spicy.
Yeah, can we get some
having difficulty?
We need all sorts of just take your pick out of any of these emojis that I'm gonna post in chat. Go ahead and take your pick.
Unfortunately, missing most of Dwhatever's TTM. I didn't get to see if he went for breezeless or not because of what was happening with Benji, or if he even has gone for that star yet. But Skeeter, having trouble with the Skeeter there. And Dwhatever missing that first clip is going to go back it up with the box here.
Yeah, and Dwhatever actually missing breezeless, having to opt for the breeze strat, but I mean that's the type of mistake that Benji is like would easily trade all of this run for, and nearly falling off of that platform and avoiding that amp zap at least. That was really brutal. Almost getting flipped.
I thought that he was going to get flipped there, and just coins
very,
being
very
kind
lucky
to
on
him.
that RNG. He could have very easily missed those 2 coins. Another quick, like, under the hood type thing. When we're talking about the RNG with those coins, every time a coin spawns from a box like that or from an enemy dying, the game calls its RNG function, which will give a random value, 3 separate times to decide which X, Y, and Z speed the coin will have as soon as it spawns. And so sometimes you'll just see all of the coins kind of just with a very, very, very weak shower, and sometimes you'll just see a couple just shoot off into nowhere. That's all just solely based on that RNG function. And Benji, to add insult to injury, grabbing the 100 coin star just fine, but missing the okay, so he's gonna end up opting for this set of long jumps to get back over there instead of the wall kick back up to try to get back up the fence.
What is Benji doing?
I'm not sure if this backup is quite as fast as the backup where you do a side flip and wall kicks to get back up, but it's certainly more reliable, I feel like. And Dwhatever, meanwhile...
Oh, taking a bonk!
Dwhatever's starting to show some cracks of his own, but he's going to have to do a lot more than that to give Benji the opportunity to catch up, unfortunately. So
Easy back up there from Dwhatever. Taking his time. Knows he's in the lead, so he's just kind of in cruise control, like we said before. Making easy work of the snowman's head and going back in to grab the last star here in Snowman's Land.
Yeah, a 12-star difference.
Excuse me, second to the last star. I apologize.
Dwhatever making really, really nice work in the deep freeze. That's so satisfying when it goes well.
You can see what kind of pace he's on as he takes care of the last star here in Snowman's Land and into THI. Or excuse me, not THI. Benji moving into THI.
Yeah, it's very rare that we see racers just with
Did he get the secret?
Like this.
Benji missed the secret, missed the first secret there.
Oh man.
Having to go back and get it.
It's still not managing to get on top of that platform, taking the double water loss. That is just unfortunate. It's just so unfortunate.
Dwhatever going for that dive grab with Mips, and Benji still struggling, just struggling with these secrets in THI. Able to get that clip there, and he'll grab that island.
That was actually kind of a monka. So the right-hand corner of that island actually has a teleport zone on it. And you have to do a slow get up if you get too far to the right in order to not trigger that teleport zone. If you do a fast get up with A, then you end up actually teleporting away and obviously causing a pretty decent time loss. But fortunately, I think either he was far enough to the left that he didn't have to worry about that, or diving right. Okay, that is the weirdest way that mountain clip has ever happened, ending up losing even more time than just failing the mountain clip. That's just bad luck, I feel like, honestly. Or just really, really strange execution.
We're just seeing play from Benji that we don't want to be seeing here in the playoffs. Not optimal play, not optimal movement at all. Just having a little bit of bad luck here and there, especially with that clip that we just saw. Dwhatever taking care of HMC. Opting for the, I guess, easier way to grab that star in HMC rather than going with a triple jump against the wall.
At least Piranhas is going well for him, especially compared to last time.
You want to see some good stuff for Benji as he finishing up here. Moving on.
Nice Grimace miracle from Dwhatever, though. So Benji going to be going ahead and moving into TTM. Well, let's see if he's able to kind of get his hat on more stable. But Dwhatever is on a pretty nice run overall. I think we kind of, I mean, with all of Benji getting breezeless, that's
very
gotta
nice
be a
to
bit
see.
of a confidence boost for sure.
Yeah.
Dwhatever with that beautiful double jump wall kick strat there.
Boulder RNG being very nice to him and using and Benji having difficulty with that mountain clip. Will he back it up? No, he'll go for the mountain clip again, and he'll get it on the second try.
Yeah, nice roll out there.
Dwhatever moves back up and into the harder part of the route.
Yeah, going up into Tippy. Meanwhile, Benji getting the log wall kick, but not able to get that ledge grab. And Punky coming into the chat to say
it's
that
Benji.
Wow,
taking a death right before
not even
Reds
on
and
the late
TTM.
rush, just right at the beginning, taking that bonk. That's brutal.
Benji just eating so much time with everything that he's been doing across the board. Dwhatever opting not to go with that faster strat for this clip. Having a little bit of difficulty getting on that pull.
And very nice ground pound, making Lakitu bounce look pretty easy. Benji does get reds this time though. Decent movement, not super sloppy at least.
Dwhatever going for his Rainbow Road Reds. See if he can make it a little bit more optimal than his first go around. And he'll grab that 5th coin.
You know, kind of interesting for being a Rainbow Road. You know, considering there aren't any sort of engines or really anything similar to a track at all.
Isn't it called Rainbow Ride? Maybe I'm saying that wrong. Yeah,
it's Rainbow Ride.
Punkay making fun of me for saying Rainbow Road.
I mean, it's probably cost about as many runs as Rainbow Road has, like, cup wins in Mario Kart games over the years. Especially, like, some Rainbow Roads are just insane compared to others.
Oh, yeah.
Which one was it that, like... I think Double Dashes is especially brutal, in my opinion, at least. And 200cc 8 Deluxe is just... Oh, man. I actually have... my other passion, I guess it just kind of naturally goes with speedrunning, is racing games. I'm really good at racing games, and I've actually triple starred all of the cups in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Dwhatever showing off that faster strat for swinging in the breeze.
Yeah, really nice there. And Benji with the nice little box jump there. You don't expect that to fail too often. But funny enough, I actually somehow managed to get triple star on a 200cc special cup on my first try. I don't know how it happened. Like, that's the one that has Rainbow Road in it, so I don't understand it. It then proceeded to take me like 20 tries to do it on a Bell Cup, I think was what it was. That took a while. But
Dwhatever working on his TTC 100s, and
Benji going for a really wild strat on Snowman's Head, not quite able to make it work, but that would have been insane.
Backing it up with the Ice House.
And really nice 100 coin from Dwhatever, even smoother than last time.
Oh,
but
and
that
to back it up with the box behind him there.
Yeah, decent 3.
Bad RNG. Just really not great RNG. And also with that kick, he kind of kicked back a little bit further than you normally see. So not able to pick up all those coins from that first box. But able to clean it up just fine.
And Benji just cannot get that ground pound to break that box.
Hegel.
Really nice movement from Dwhatever and TTC.
Yeah, this is the sort of TTC that other runners mostly dream of, aside from the
Benji taking a slide down at the beginning of that climb up the snowman's head.
Hegel.
Yeah, let's see if he's... Okay, he's able to get it a lot cleaner than last time at the very least. Okay, let's see how Dwhatever handles the rest of this here.
Just playing really clean here in TTC.
As Benji gonna be shooting for the bully here.
And having difficulty grabbing that tree there before sliding onto the platform. I'm not really sure what happened.
I could definitely be wrong, because I'm pretty sure I've seen people do it without the tree grab, but I think that might partially be a strat. But it wasn't executed correctly. I think what he was trying to do was, like, use the tree and the dive height. And saving and quitting again! What? Why? Benji just forgetting about exiting course, apparently. I don't understand. What?
That's the second time he's done that. This race.
Oddly enough, wait. He forgot that he was done with SL. Oh man.
Okay, so he saved and quit on purpose so that he.
Well, no, he definitely did not do that on purpose. Otherwise, he wouldn't have gone upstairs. He did. That was an accident both times, I'm sure.
I'm thinking that he saved and quit, thinking, you know, I'm just gonna do this. So, and taking a bonk, but so that he could just move on upstairs. But I don't know why. I don't know. It's going into SSL. What is happening?
Oh my god!
And he's gonna just take a death! This is insane! This is absolute insanity!
I'm sorry! Like,
from Benji! Like, that had to be the worst luck I've ever seen. He's trying to go for MIPS, takes a jump, and falls into the portrait rather than grabbing MIPS!
Free MIPS grab, finally!
Oh my lord!
Man!
Commentators just going nutso here.
That is, jeez, that is just insane. And meanwhile, Dwhatever now officially in go mode, as Benji is now making his way to HMC late.
Oh, by the way, let's take a pause for here for a second. He got the Toadstar at 47. We're looking at a possible 48 here.
Yep. Is certainly, aside from that, like, bad RNG at the end of TTC 100, I think this is the good TTC that he needed to get a mid 48.
This is really nice. If he can have a nice bits here, easily get a 48 here for sure.
Ooh, and going for that real nice fast movement here. And Goggins pointing out that they are only one Toadstar apart. That is a very optimistic way of looking at it. Thank you. Yeah, they are 16 stars apart count-wise, and I kind of wonder about how exactly, like, if you could actually fit a 16-star run in before. Okay, Dwhatever having some problems with this left side, finally able to get it.
Fortunately, he didn't fall all the way down, so he's able to save it, not wasting too much time, taking his time on the elevators here.
48 is still on the table with 3 throws. Definitely still on the table. Benji having trouble again, but this time able to get it on that second side flip there.
And he'll have to opt for the ground pound, which he won't get.
Does that ever work?
That
ever works. Oh, and
Dwhatever missing that first throw.
There goes 48. Right after Punkay saying needs all throws. The Shatter's curse, it seems.
Dwhatever getting that first throw. Second throw.
And he's going to wind up for a third here.
I think he's going to get it on this third. Yep, and he'll get it.
Yep, just barely behind that first run with about a 49, 49.02.03. About almost the same.
Same as his, I was going to say, almost the exact same as his last run. Getting a 49.01 and a 49.03.
Yup, GG's in the chat for Dwhatever, double 49s, and especially 49 OXs. That's pretty hot. And Benji gonna go ahead and cut it there, just too far behind, unfortunately.
And we'll see
Shout out
both
to
of them.
Benji for not just completely giving up. Definitely a rough way to start both of these races, but shout out to Benji for actually continuing to play and not forfeiting.
And we'll see if we can get Benji here. Maybe we won't, but we do have Dwhatever here in chat. Dwhatever, how you feel?
I'm pretty happy. I'm glad I won. I mean, I don't know how horrible the first race was, but it's really bad about the second one for Benji. I actually feel really sorry.
Yeah. That first race, taking those deaths, how did you go from the first race into the second race and say, okay, I'm going to clean it up here and not taking any deaths in that second race?
Yeah, I'm just gonna try and go consistent. That was my thought. I didn't want to risk anything anymore. I played mostly consistently.
And especially once we saw that second race doing rear sub, it was all about consistency, it seemed. But still pulling off some really, really great stuff, especially like really great job on both of the TTM Reds. Are there any other stars that you're particularly proud of?
That second TTC 100 went almost perfect, but then
yeah, that RNG would just really messed you up. That was so unfortunate.
At least the mid part was really good in that, but yeah.
It was a really good backup there, though.
Yeah, that's true. I'm glad I didn't fall down. I have to say that my control stick feels really sticky. I just cleaned it the other day, and now it feels so weird. I don't know.
Are you one of the ones that uses a OEM stick, but you grease it, right?
Oh no, I use a steel stick and
okay.
still grease it. Like I just cleaned it. I thought it was off before, and now it's even worse. So,
kind of interesting. But it seems Benji was actually having controller issues as well. With he was mentioning that he was having issues with that Z button. So
yeah, I think that's way more horrible than what I had. I just had to try and not like do anything crazy, just that consistency, I guess.
What were you doing to prep for this race?
I've actually been doing attempts twice this week, and also like the usual practice routine of every hard star every day, just to make sure I don't get too rusty or anything.
Of course. Now you gotta kind of ask too, seeing as how you're both trying to run for getting into those semifinals and grand finals at pace, and you have that 120 star race with those three other legends. How are you kind of balancing your time preparing for both of those categories, since 120 star takes a decent amount of commitment, and there are a couple of differences like that Wet Dry World 100?
Definitely. I will, after playoffs, I want to like start practicing 120 star specific stuff, and then like also do no reset runs every now and then to like get my so I'm not too rusty going into 120 star.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that race. Are you kind of what are you looking for in that? And in particular, what are you thinking that Sig is going to manage to pull out during that race?
I think he's been practicing, but I just want to enjoy that one. That's just going to be a really fun race. And I'm actually really glad I get to race Siglamic. That's actually kind of cool.
Oh, yeah. It's certainly the type of thing that like a year or two ago, it's like if anyone said, oh, you're going to be racing Sig at a marathon soon, they'd be like, wait, what? But
I know. That's actually really nice. I'm glad you get to see him again, like in a showcase race.
Yeah, Vacation not the most optimistic out there, but we'll just have to see what happens. We'll have to see.
He might be right. He might be right.
But and thinking about going into tomorrow, what are you thinking that Benji should probably focus on if he's wanting to get a better performance in tomorrow's race?
That's really hard. I think he has another controller to work with, but that control stick isn't like for him. The dead zones are different, I believe. So I don't know how bad his issues are. So it's really hard to tell where he has to like put time into.
249s, you gotta be really happy with that.
Yeah, just kind of sad I took that PB. It was actually PB based into Tippy until the first thing I do is die. But yeah.
Well, good.
Well, all right then. Scotch, did you have any other questions for Do Whatever before we let him go?
No, but just a reminder that we've got Super Mario Odyssey here at 2 o'clock with Chaos Pringle and Fur. That's going to be their second match. Chaos Pringle taking the first match, so we'll see them go again here in a little bit.
Yeah, and then directly following that is going to be Equanimity versus Lil Curbs 14, both former world record holders. That should be a really, really exciting match, I'm sure. Both of them just at an insane level. Equan especially known for, in some ways, kind of being the Ouija of SMO, going for some really wild strats in some cases. And then later on tonight, in case I didn't mention, that match is going to be at 5:30 EST. And then finally, we're going to have 2 Mega Man X matches at 9 and 10 p.m. EST. Those should be pretty exciting. The 10 p.m. is, well, actually, both of them are 100% rounds. So if you never watched Mega Man X, it's a pretty neat speed game, and it has a lot of pretty cool tech in it. And races are really awesome as well. So definitely try to stick around for any of our upcoming races. But if you can't, we're so happy that you chose to watch this race here on the Global Speedrun Association. I, once again, am Electric. Here with me, co-commenting for his second ever time, Scotch and Tie Guy. You did a great job, man, and it was a pleasure.
Thank you so much, and it was a pleasure being here. Thanks for, like we said, thanks for watching, and hope to see you guys again.
All right. Well, peace out, everyone.
Later.
Bye.